You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Sislo? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? I'm a little under the weather.
Yes, our girl is a little under the weather, but she's pushing through, y'all.
Right. But God.
But God. But I hope everybody is doing okay. Again, Sislo's a little under the weather, so just bear with us this morning. But she is pushing through under, the circumstances, because we got something to talk about this morning. And she brought this to my attention. Yes, I have to give her credit. She brought this story to my attention late last night while I was, looking at some Netflix. This was way more interesting. But the topic of discussion this morning is what everybody in the world is talking about. Well, maybe not the world, but everybody on social media. Girl, do you think the world?
Girl, right about now, yes. Because of the power.
Oh, let me say this real quick. I went to sleep last night, and I caught the tail end of it. So you had to hit me up later when it was reposted. But after I watched it, I did look online to see if other people were talking about it, and it was like nobody talking about it. But I knew by the time morning come, everybody is live this morning discussing this. So this is
that's why I was trying to get it. That's why I was trying to break it. Last night, but I was just too sick, and
it was really
sick.
Was
like, and it was like after 1 in the morning or something. It was late. It was late. Yeah.
Yep, it was real late last night, but
and I was in the actual. I was in the actual live. The initial live that he had. But girl, oh my God. Anyway, let's lead into it, sis.
Okay. So, basically, y'all see the title of the show. Actor Christian Keys is accusing a billionaire movie, TV show, entertainment producer of not only sexual assault, but bullying, sexual harassment, for what he said was been at least like 15 years, right? At least like 15 years. And so, of course,
2005.
Yep. And so, of course, everybody is automatically assuming that it is Tyler Perry, because Christian has mainly been working for Tyler Perry all that time, ever since the first Medeas came out. The first plays, the actual plays, before he even hit the big screen.
He was Puerto Rico, remember? When they called him Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Africa, wait a minute, girl. How you doing?
Girl, it's just this is mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
I want to ask you, anybody else in the chat, and please, you guys, share this live out. Please share the live out. Thank you so much. But I want to ask you, when you first heard it, because you was in the live when it first happened, what was your first thought? What was the first thought that you thought of, regardless of what it was, pertaining to this situation?
Um, I thought how unfortunate, and I thought, wow, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? Here we go again. It's almost like you can't even build up your trust in somebody, thinking that this is good. Stop, this is good people. And he was saying, one of the things that Christian was saying was that he didn't want to bust everybody's bubble, because not only, it's like he was thinking more than just about himself as a victim. He was thinking about his peers and work, and how this is going to affect a whole community of actors and talent. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever it comes out, it's gonna be a downward spiral. So I thought, the first thing I thought was, oh man, not another one. And the only reason why I knew right off that it was not Sean Combs was because he said something to the effect that, you think that P Diddy thing is bad.
Right, because that's the first
You
thing I
you,
thought
you
of.
don't know the half of it.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, when he said P. Diddy, he said that ain't nothing, basically.
hmm So you want to just give them a quick rundown of basically,
Yeah, and I
you
also want to
know,
say the first thing that I thought of as well before we get into
yeah.
rundown.
Yeah.
But
What
when
did you
I
think?
first heard it, the first thing I thought of was, for one, for years I have been hearing that Tyler Perry was gay or
hmm
bisexual, and he had always like denied it or shied away from the conversation. And it's like some people do believe, that that's the reason why he dresses up as a woman and things like that, even though he says he gets this from his aunties and grandmas and the old heads in his family, and on top of that, the way he talks sometimes. Sometimes, he gives off this feminism about himself that has nothing to do with Medea, because Medea show ain't feminine. She's like a big dude. And so I first thought about that, like all those years, and then like a lot of men in the industry, they end up getting married, they end up having kids, and you still continually to hear this stuff about them, in the background, and them not answering to it. So that's the first thing I thought of was, I don't know why, but I can believe that is him, even though he didn't right out say it was him. And then on top of that, billionaire, and then these big huge parties. And then he was talking about how recently he's tired of them gallivanting around and doing all these PR stunts. And the movie that I watched, or documentary that I watched about a month ago, was that Tyler Perry documentary. Is it on Netflix? Was it Netflix or
I think it's on
BET?
Prime.
Prime? It was one of them.
hmm
And that just struck me as, I think this is what he's talking about. Because in that show, it talks a lot about his upbringing, about his struggle, about him being abused, about him being broke, poor, homeless, all this kind of stuff. And he's like just putting on this front, putting gallivanting around, with all these PR stunts. What's that noise, girl? What's that noise?
I thought it was muted. The maintenance man is
Okay.
working.
But yeah, that's what the first thing that came to my mind. And I did see in the chat, Miss Natalie Nolan said she don't believe it's him because he's been through it himself. But what do they say about that all the time, sis? With people who have been abused, what they
Those are the ones that end up doing it.
uh-huh. Yep, the
Those are the ones.
abuse becomes the victim. But I'm not going to say for sure it was him, even though that's what I really, really believe, because I ain't trying to be Cardi B. Okay? I ain't trying to be in no Cardi B, Tasha K situation over here with my girl Sislo. All right. So we just going to say allegedly it's Tyler Perry. And for the people who don't know, late last night in the wee hours of the morning. Well, it was last night because I remember because Christian, remember he started praying when it became 11 p.m. So it was right around 11 p.m. last night. Um, and that's on, I think, Christian's time zone, which I can't even remember what time zone that was or where he is. But anyway, he had went live to basically spill his guts, but not all of his guts. For the last 15 years, he's been keeping it, out of the public about somebody in the industry who's a billionaire, really rich, really famous, somebody that we idol, somebody that we adore, somebody that we call our hero, somebody that we love, somebody that if we knew who it was, he's saying that some of our hearts would be broken. And just from the description of what he was saying and the incidences and the situations and the places and the times and things like that, and the fact that, remember this, Sislo? As soon as I play the audio recording, you guys are going to know who it is right off the bat because they have a very
distinctive voice.
And he has a very distinct voice. So a lot of people automatically assume that it is Tyler Perry because he has also worked for this person for it almost that whole amount of time since 2005, and he said this has been going on for 15 years. So for the people who don't think it's Tyler Perry, who do you think it could possibly be? That's what I want to know. But go ahead, Sislo. Oh, Doreen said it. No, yes, I'm a diva. What's up? Yes, I'm a diva. Hey, boo. She said it doesn't take Columbo or a rocket scientist. I'm gonna throw that in there to figure this out. I do. And Lovely One said, I thought he had a little sugar in his tank. That's what people been saying for years. And usually, Sislo, when they be saying that for years and years and years and years about celebrity, isn't it usually true?
Here's the thing: if that's his thing, that's his thing. But for you to try to push that off onto someone else, that's wrong. Because I mean, the way he was disrespected was just not necessary. Because he said he grabbed him by his manhood, and then he smacked his hand away. He was like, "What the F you doing?" He said, "Oh, my bad, my bad," and turned around and did it again. And he was like, it wasn't funny and it wasn't appropriate. And he was like, after that, I just left. But when he said that, he was like, what's the name of that movie with Julia Roberts and what's that fine man name? When she was the prostitute and he hired her for a weekend or something like that. He made reference to that movie. Oh my God, I can't think of. Well, Julia Roberts was and then he sent her shopping and all of this and but he ended up falling in love with her. It was a movie that was real popular back in the 90s. Oh my God, I can't think of it. But anyway, Christian made reference to that movie. Like he said that's how Tyler, I didn't mean to say Tyler, but that's how the person treated him. Allegedly, I'm sorry, y'all. Treated him. He said he came in with champagne and strawberries like he was on a date. He was like, "Oh, I gotta go." Sorry, y'all. He said, "Oh, I gotta go." Cause I'm not on this type of time. We got two different watches. I don't need to get down to like, now you can do what you want to do. That's cool. That's up to you. I ain't got no problem with it. But me, I don't do dudes. I don't do that at all. And so he was like, he went for an audition and to do a presentation. And when that happened, he got up to leave, and the dude was like, he said, "Listen, I'm out. You got my headshots, my resume. You got my presentation." And the guy was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Like if you leave, this could cost you this project kind of thing. But he was like, I'm not for sale, you know, and I'm not about to sit up here and sell my soul or my
Exactly. And I know
yeah.
Natalie Nolans, that's the first question everybody has with the Tyler Perry, excuse me, allegedly the Tyler Perrys, with the Cosby's, with the Harvey Weinstein, whatever, however you say his name, with the R. Kelly's, with the, we can go on and on and on and on. Usually,
Mm,
when it's coming to these
the
type of
Sean Puffy
situations,
Cone thing.
the Sean Puff is these powerful people with millions and billions of dollars who have all these fancy lawyers who can crush you and blackball you. You'll never be able to work again ever besides at a McDonald's. Like it's so many things that these people deal with. Is not that just simple and cut and dry. Like when that it's situation happened when he accused him of getting in the bed with him when he was passed out drunk off of that hen dog. And he woke up and tried to apologize to him, and the dude shook his hand. And then on the way out the door, he tried to grab his stuff, and then they argued back and forth again. And then he turned around to leave again. The man grabbed his stuff again. I mean, and he was like, at that time, I had about $3,000 in the bank, not enough money to get a lawyer. My children, mother, that $3,000 was going towards some of her rent and going towards some of my rent, and the rest was going to be used over for gas to get through the next auditions and to go to the Family Dollar so I can get me some hot dogs, some bologna, some bread, some mustard, just to be able to eat off till whenever I find enough check. He said because the work was down back then. He said there was not a lot of work, and he said the only thing that was available was sexual work. The only thing available was, for me to accept these advances and get the $100,000 that was offered to me, that he was paying all these other guys, and he got it on audio. Like for y'all who didn't watch it, he has this on audio. He has so much audio over the years because he said with those powerful people, when they in those type of environments, and I do believe this, when they in those type of environments where they either doing that type of thing or they doing drugs, they check people's phones or they take people's phones, they put them away in a box. They have somebody, hand you your phone when you walk out the door, things like that. And he started using pins and keychains and key rings and all type of different things that he would buy that would audio record for like up to 6 hours.
Yeah,
So
those
he had
recording
all this
devices.
footage. And he said, as soon as I play him propositioning me and telling me all the guys that he's already paying $100,000 for, and I could be in the same position, he said, as soon as I play the audio, y'all gonna know exactly who it is.
And when he said,
And
I
I do
will give
believe
you $100,000 just to see you naked.
just to see you naked. I don't even want to touch you because the man didn't want to be touched. He didn't want to be, he said, I'm not gay.
I don't have to touch you. I just want to see you naked. And then he said, I got ends on my payroll that you make six figures grab their ankles anytime I tell them to.
Yep. Anytime he wants to,
Wow.
anytime he want to call them up, they will come over grabbing them ankles for him because he got them on $100,000 a year payroll just for them to be his sex toys.
Toys, right. And here's the
And then
thing,
you
if
know
that's
they
the way
got to
you
sign those
are,
NDAs, of course.
if
The
that's what you
NDAs.
like, that's on you. That's fine. For you to try to push that off on another individual, and that's not his cup of tea, I think that's wrong. And then not only that, you're threatening to take work from him, to take projects with him. He
Yep.
won't get the project
Blackball.
unless he does this, that, and the other, or that he might be blackballed. That's so wrong. And so now his focus, like he said, he waited until the statute of limitations expired because it wasn't about a lawsuit thing. But what he does want to do is be able to create an atmosphere where people can do their artistry without having to be concerned about selling their souls or bodies.
And that's what I think he is going to create. And I do wish he would do that because there's too many people out
Hmm.
there, and and people, and some people like, oh, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. Why they wait all these years? They're lying, they're lying, they're lying. And y'all just, I get it, I understand. I've been a victim of that more than once, more than twice. And I understand by not being believed by the people who's supposed to protect you. I understand that. I have been through that. And that's why when my children were growing up, I was so strict about where they went, who they went. I didn't care if it was cousins,
Hmm.
uncles, daddy, mama, the coach. It didn't matter. I was man. I kept my eye on everybody all the time and was always asking my kids all the time till they were even past grown. Has anybody ever
Hmm.
done anything to you that you thought that you could
Hmm.
never tell me when nah, mama, come on now, mama, come on now. I'm
Yes.
like, if I
Hmm.
do this, of course I tell you, they still say that
My
by
babies
even
knew
grown
that.
men. But
It's their
even
no place.
grown men, even
They
grown men will
know that.
tell you if this ever happened to me, I'll tell you. And then sometimes it could go on and on and on and on, and then they finally be like, "Okay, I'm gonna say something." It's one thing
Right.
about women being going through that, and it's another thing with men because they feel like they manhood was tested, their manhood was threatened, or
I Yeah, I feel so. And he was crying. He was crying. And then
yep,
he even said, not, he said, I'll take 5 lie detectors test on live because I know I will pass them because I'm telling the truth. Not only do I have audio and documents to back up what I'm saying, and I said, my only concern is his safety. But he was like, listen, something should ever happen to me. I have certain family members that have copies of everything already, and they know exactly who is who. But so if anything happened to me, this is
yeah.
what,
He said he got
you know,
backups for the backups for the backups for the backups of audio.
exactly, yeah. But isn't that just terrible? And people, and here's the thing, people will laugh at a man saying, I was sexually harassed because people are so immature and so ignorant to that they refuse to accept that, dang, this could have really happened. And then on top of that, um, for them to call him, just tell him to just look pretty, just stay there and look pretty, just look pretty, pretty boy. He's like, I am not a pretty boy. I'm a grown man. I'm not a pretty boy. And they told him just sit there and be cute, be still, and be pretty. And it make me feel some kind of way because I'm always joking with him. Like we have inboxes where I have commented on his not inboxes where I commented on his page or whatever, and I would say certain things and he would laugh and comment too, and we went back and forth with that for a while, for like a, about 4 or 5 comments where we was back and he was laughing. He was like, Lord have mercy. But now I feel some kind of way because I don't want to offend anyone. And then who do you think the woman is that grabbed his private and told him he had girth?
I was trying
Who do
to
you think?
think about that. I can't even. I can't even. I don't know. I
The
don't know
first
because
thing that
even
came
in
to my
those,
mind is Eva. That's the first person that come to my mind from all the Queen's men. Madam, from all
uh,
the Queen's men. That's the first because she looks like she do something like
he
that,
said
honestly.
Veronica. Oh, Veronica from
From
the TV
Have
show.
Nots.
Yes.
Are you serious, Rosso? What? I thought she was classy for something like that.
No, I can see that happening, boy. I can
And
see
then,
that.
and then he said, now if I had done it, I'd been in jail right then,
Yep,
right
yep.
away. If I
And
had touched
still be
her
in jail today.
inappropriately, she had
Yep.
no right to touch my person. And if
What
I had
about
done that to her, they would have been like, me too.
Lynn Whitfield?
Huh?
Lynn Whitfield.
I don't think she'll do anything like that. Mm-mm.
I was just
She
thinking
cut
about
from a
any because I'm thinking a powerful
yeah,
woman.
she cut from a different cloth.
I'm thinking a power, and I don't know that to be true. Sure, we think a lot of these people come from a different cloth.
Yeah, I just think I don't
I
know.
just think it happened to be it's probably somebody who's powerful, who's very, very well known. No
Mm-hmm.
D-lister or nothing like that. It's definitely an A-lister.
Mm-hmm.
To do something like that, to be so bold, to do something like that, but also somebody
Uh-huh.
very, very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Not just some
Uh-huh.
normal looking chick either. But if he ever admit that, you know what? Let me play this footage for the
Come
peoples.
on, girl, play. Roll that beautiful bee footage.
Yes, that beautiful bean footage. And y'all, if y'all haven't shared the live out, could y'all please share the live out? I know Sislo's on here. I don't know if she knows how to share the live out or not, but could y'all please share the live out? Thank you. And if anybody wants to jump on here with us, I dropped the link, but I'll drop it again if anybody wants to jump on here with us. So there you go. I just put the link in the chat again. So if you have commentary you want to add to this or your thoughts or opinions, anybody in the chat, feel free. Feel free to hit that link, and I'm going to play this footage real quick. And this is just a clip. I did record the whole thing because he did say that he might take it down, and he did take it down for a minute, but then he put it back up. And when he put it back up, I said, I'm going to record it this time. So here we go. And let me know if you cannot hear me or hear it, Sislo. I think I wonder if I can hit mute and it still play. Let me try it. Okay, you can't hear when I'm on mute, so I'm gonna have to unmute. And it's not really loud. I don't know why it's not really loud because he wasn't talking really loud. And I know I recorded it loud, but y'all just gotta put it to your ears, put on your headphones, something, okay?
It's not about money or being able to sue. It's never been about money. And yeah, that don't do nothing for me. I'm batting for your team. So, yeah, at some point soon, I've spoken with my attorney trying to figure out how to deal with it. It's never been about money. I literally intentionally let the statute of limitations pass. It's not about money or being able to sue. But at some point, really soon, the police report is going to be filed, and I'll turn over the recordings of the inappropriate behaviors and inappropriate offers, and I'll turn over the paperwork for the car that was bought as an apology for offering me $100,000 to take my clothes off, and y'all can hear him. His voice is very distinctive, and I want to empty. I'm tired of carrying this shit. There's a reason now why I fight more than ever when somebody wrongs me, and why I almost too aggressively speak up is because I wasn't brave enough to then. And I regret not being able to be strong enough, and I resent that part of me that wasn't strong enough to speak up about it. It's taking everything in me not to air out everything and put all the recordings online, put all the paperwork and PDFs online. There's no reason that this person's company would be on the bill of sale for a vehicle unless it's right after the timestamp recording of him offering me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, I don't have to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like, you know I'm not into that. I don't fuck around like that. I don't do that. What the fuck? What? Leave. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get out. I thought you were my brother and my friend. And this definitely has nothing to do with my brother who's in here. Be clear. I thought this person was a brother type figure, a mentor type figure. But for you to continuously throw these opportunities, you know good and damn well, all it ever was you pretending to be a mentor trying to get some ass. That'll never happen. I don't bat for that team. Yeah, but I gotta get off of here and talk to my brother because I'm so fucking close to just airing everything out. I'm just dumping everything online in the morning. I'm tired, man. I'm not forgiving myself. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't brave enough back then because somebody said forgive yourself. KG, it's heavy on my heart, man, and I'm tired. And we around here deifying people that go out and do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna pay off this, and I'm gonna pay off that, and I'm gonna pay off that. But at the same time, these same people are predators. I'm not blaming myself for saying no. I'm not blaming myself for almost quitting acting. I'm just mad at me for not being brave enough to say something sooner. That's the only thing that I regret. I wish I'd have been brave enough. I'm him now. I know who I am. I know who God built me to be. And I'm not afraid of those consequences. My concern is that a lot of y'all are going to be like, man. And your immediate reaction is going to be like, oh, well, we got to protect our deity. We got to protect. It's going to have to happen.
That's just a little piece of the video. Yeah. It's about 1 hour and 4 minutes. If you go over to his Instagram, Christian Keys, if you go to his Instagram, you can watch the whole thing if it's still there. He did take it down, but then he did put it back up. I don't know if he's going to leave it up permanently or not, but so thank you, Rashid. She said surviving Tyler Perry. And again, he didn't mention his name, but he's going to. It's going to come out real soon. And I'm waiting on that audio footage. I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat, just waiting on the audio footage. Because even though it could be, it's a lot of billionaires out there who are producers, right? But that he has closely worked with, that has mainly been TP for the last 15 or so years. But go ahead, sis.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I was just agreeing with what you were saying. And as you can see, I'm really, really congested. So
yeah, you are really congested. If you don't want to stay longer, just, I don't want you to stay on here if you're feeling too uncomfortable. But of course, you're welcome to stay.
All right. Thank you. But yeah, I think this is a big misfortune. It's a big misfortune, and my a good friend told me a long time ago, you cannot build a lifetime of happiness on the foundation of another person's pain. So, for whoever the offender is, you can't just run around and the rich getting richer and you happy go lucky doing everything you do, and then meanwhile he's hurting because he's continuously holding his secret. He's living with it, and he said that it's tormenting him every night because this is happening. And the problem is it hasn't stopped. So
Right, it
yeah,
hasn't stopped even up till like now. It hasn't stopped. And I'm gonna play this next clip, which is going to specifically speak of a situation that we were talking about earlier when he was saying, he was asleep in the bed. So I'm gonna play this real quick, and then Sislo, if you can hit mute, then we're gonna come back to your commentary.
I'm interested to see which peers are mad at me because it may interfere with their work. But yeah, you get a grown ass man that knows that you're heterosexual and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room because he says it's safe. Because I know I'm bad, so I'm after a big party. Won't say what type, won't say where. I'm asleep. I'm gone because I'm 4-5 Hennessy's deep and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb into bed with you. So you spaz out, push him out, like what the fuck? Get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man. All right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out, and he tries to grab your penis. He tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the fuck you doing, man? What the fuck? Oh, my bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not breaking multiple bones in this person's face. Like beating the dog shit out of this person, right? Because that's available to me at all times. That inner grizzly bear is always available, but in the moment, I'm like, what the fuck? And what? But you got a guy that's a billionaire, and I got $3,000 in my bank account. What are you gonna believe? Right? I got that $3,000. That's my son's mom's rent for next month. Gotta make sure little man is taken care of. That's my rent, and that's a little bit for the gas tank, and the rest of it I can go to the dollar store and get some bread and bologna and hot dogs and mustard, and I can get by. Work was slow, and a lot of the work that was coming it had penis attached to it. I'm like, fuck that, man. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm about to do. I regret not speaking up then, not being brave enough to, and I regret not hurting this person because I had a big heart. Mother had a big heart. Mother's heart was this big slim issue. She was like a little yellow boy. You gonna come and you gonna be a part of my family. And I always try to think about things, not lash out, even though I wanted to, even though I want to. I'm mad at me for not hitting him. I'm mad at me for not speaking up and saying something.
Look at the passion in his eyes.
How many young black actors have fell for that? How many of them, and you can hear him say it on you can hear him on the conversations. You can hear him on the conversations. You can hear him say he had several guys, multiple guys on payroll, 6 figures a year, that pop up and they do whatever he wants and they go back home. So they pop in, they grab their ankles, they do whatever he wants. And I'm like, I'm not finna fucking do that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to make it that bad. I want to be able to shave in the fucking morning without any grief or any regret or any shame waiting for me in the mirror.
Yeah, Cicelo, you were saying look at the what in his face?
The passion in his eye.
Yeah, look at the passion in his eyes. Like, I totally believe that this stuff happened to him. And I mean, yeah, we could be wrong about who the individual he is as accusing, but it's just like they said in the chat, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take. And I want to say, I really felt where he's coming from when he was saying that the worst predators are the ones we love or admire the most. That's within our own families, within our own communities, and these people out here who are actors and producers and singers and writers. And it's the worst predators are the ones we love, admire the most, the ones we call our heroes, the ones we idolize, such as R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and a whole bunch of other people. P. Diddy, a whole bunch of other people. And those are also the ones that people like us regular folk continue to make excuses for. And a lot of people who think they are, our mentors are literally there just trying to fuck us. But he said, when we hear this person's name, it's going to break our hearts. And some people in the chat were saying, just air them out, while other people were saying, don't do it here, don't do it on the live. But, and then he talked about how, people's like directors in the past. And this is true for a lot of people. A lot of people have been saying this type of stuff over the years. That directors in the past, they'll have you come through and try out for audition and you could kill it. You can slay that audition. Have people in tears if it's a heartfelt scene, things like that. Then they'll turn around and ask you, would you like to come up to their apartment or come up to their hotel room to continue reading the script? And then what happens when you reject their offer? They will either automatically resent you. They'll maybe even try to blackball you. When they was about to give you that part and you got the part, they'll take it away from you. And then when the victims speak out against the powers that be, you are looked at as the villain or somebody who just wants to take a powerful person down for money or jealousy or something like that. But I am glad he didn't sell his soul or his ass, pun intended, for success.
He said, I had to sell my soul or my tail.
Or my ass.
It's terrible. I just pray that he's successful at creating, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done? I was about to play another part of the video. Here we go.
That's some bullshit. So yeah, I needed to vent and get some of this out of my system because there's a vitriol that you carry when you deal with this, and there's a trauma that comes with it because you never know. okay, is this meeting legit? Or is this some bullshit? Is this another one of those meetings where you meet with a black billionaire businessman, and while my manager is there, everything is everything. I got my Kinko's presentation with the plastic cover on it. I paid good money on this, good money. I'm running it down like you can invest in this, that, and the other. So my manager leaves, he moves it to a conference room, and I'm like, okay, it's a conference room. Nothing sketchy about this. Didn't realize that the doors on the side of the conference room right there led into his suite. So about 8 or 10 minutes, I'm nervous in my phone. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What is, okay, you changing? You got to use the bathroom. Is it number 2? Cool. He comes back in silk pajamas, silk robe, right as they're delivering strawberries and champagne like this is Pretty Woman or a fucking date. I'm like, wait, whoa, this ain't that. I'm not him, and this ain't that. I'd love for you to invest in my company. He probably should have, because he would own a piece of All the Queen's Men. The books have already sold. The 6 or 8 books I'm about to release, all of that, he would have had a piece of all of that monetarily, but he didn't. He was thinking with his dick. And yeah, he came back in, grabbed a strawberry, sat down, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. You got my presentation, I'm going. He's like, are you sure? I said, yeah. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. He's like, are you sure? That second, are you sure, means if you don't stay and do what I want, you're not going to get what you're hoping for. Now, this particular guy is out here paying tuition for entire classes of HBCUs. After this sketchy shit, I want to air him out too. I'm just tired of carrying this bullshit with me. I'm tired. There are wolves in the hen house. And yeah, it's disappointing because you're like, okay, well, I want to learn from this person. Or I want to learn from this person. Or maybe partner with this person over here because he's investing in black companies, not knowing that he's a predator. And this person who's supposed to be your mentor is the worst predator of all. This got to come out at some point.
Again, you guys, for those who might be just tuning in or coming in, please make sure you like and share the video and hit that link in the chat if you want to, if you want to jump on the panel, Lovely One, or anybody else in the chat, Doreen. I don't know if Miss Natalie Nolans is still here, but if you want to click the link, feel free to hit that StreamYard link in the chat if you want to jump on the panel and discuss it with us. And Lovely One, you're right. You are so right. They were grooming. It's a grooming process. It's a grooming process. And one thing he said, Sislo, when he was talking about the car, he said right after that incident, right after that party, when he, did that in the bed, he said later, a few days later or something, he offered him a brand new car and he turned it down. And he had the audio, he had, of course, he was recording and secretly recording. And he said, everything is going to corroborate itself, because why would you be buying me an expensive car a few days after I rejected you and I have it all on audio? So it's going to be pretty clear and evident. And if it's not TP, whoever it is, I think we still are going to be shocked and amazed. I think we're going to be shocked, amazed, disgusted, and all of that. And some people might have their heart broke, because a lot of people, just us regular normal folks who are fans, they do invest. I don't know. They feel invested so much sometimes. Just like on these YouTube streets, Cislo in the B sector, a lot of the subscribers get so invested in their favorite content creators, whether they do right or wrong or indifferent, and it's the same way, out there in, the streets, in the real world. And I think that a lot of people's hearts will be broken. Just like when it came out that R. Kelly, like a lot of people worship the ground this nigga walked on. And they so in love and love him so much, they can't fathom it. They can't believe it. And then a lot of people like me and a lot of other people, we totally, put him on, quiet mode. Like, I haven't listened to an R. Kelly song in years, and I still have all of his CDs. All of them, all the way back to
I ain't gonna lie, I still listen to some stuff in Namely.
And you along with a lot of other people. Some people don't care, and that's your prerogative. But me, on the other hand, I ain't stepping the shit. I ain't stepping the shit. And all the way back to Public Announcement. I won't even listen to Public Announcement, even though that was a whole group. But just the sound of his voice just sends this feeling through my body like, this motherfucker used to just go through kids like it wasn't shit. Like, I can't. I just can't. That's just me. But another thing, I'm sorry, I just can't. Especially when you've been touched as a child and it does something totally different. It's different levels for different people. You know what I'm saying? But he does want to say everything now, and people were telling him in the chat, don't say it now. His brothers, his friends are saying, don't say it now. But he does have proof. And he kept reiterating it's not about the money, which is why he intentionally let the statute of limitations run out. But he's going to take all these recordings down to the police department, and he has a lawyer already. He has a lawyer. And he said the fact that he considered him as a brother or a mentor type figure, only to realize that he was just trying to get some ass from him. And the fact that he refused him and he kept going on and on for year after year after year, show after show, movie after movie, audition after audition. It's sad and it's horrible. It's just horrible. But you know what? He said one thing I like what he said that I thought was funny, Cislo, because this ain't no funny matter or laughing situation. But when they said, we hope you got copies, he said, I didn't watch too many Jason Bourne movies to not have a backup for the backup for the backup. Shoot, if anybody else is going through something like this and they have recordings, definitely have multiple recordings. Give those recordings to people you trust.
Right,
give one to your mama, give one to your kid, give one to your, your attorney, give one to your therapist, whoever. Just make sure if something happens to you, that people got proof. That people got proof. And he specifically said that. He told people close to him, if anything happens to me, y'all make sure y'all play all these audio tapes.
You got it. Play it all.
Yep. Play it all. Yep. Doreen said, I got all the other finance actors in my head. Oh, child. You know what? I'm the type of person who it's not hard to believe. It's not hard to believe because that's what the industry is. What did they call it before, Cislo? What did like the rappers and stuff call it? It was a I forgot what they call it, an era. They called it a certain type of era where this stuff just happened. Where you hit on people.
Like cancel culture or something.
Who was that? That radio show personality. What's his name? The white girl, the little white girl that accused him. What's his name? The black guy. He has everybody on the show. The morning show. You know who I'm talking about? Oh God. Who am I talking about, y'all?
Breakfast Club.
Yeah. What's his name?
Angela and
Charlemagne, the guy. Okay. He was one of the first ones who said what type of era it was or what it was called back then, where girls would say no and you still would try to make them say yes. You still would hit on them. You still would touch on them. You still would kiss on them. You still would, because it wasn't a big thing back then when it comes to assault. It wasn't. And getting people drunk and giving them drugs and spiking their drinks. And that was just like the thing that they did back then. So yeah, I don't find it hard to believe. You can name anybody in the industry and I'll be like, It's hard to not believe when so many people do it. Just like drugs, Cislo. They can go into an audition and all the producers and the writers are sitting there sniffing the table. I mean, it's just like it's so much stuff that goes on. But anywho, go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was taking in what you were saying, but this just I don't know if we mentioned that he credited Cassie for giving him the courage to come forward. I know he did do that. I don't know if we mentioned that or not. He credited Cassie, and he said, "Now I know how Cassie feels. I know how Terry Crews feels. How so many people feel. You know, yeah. But I refuse to sell my booty on my soul. Ain't that something?"
They did say this was going to be the year of revelations, accusations, and revealing a lot of stuff that was going on in the industries. They said this was going to be the year, and we still got 14 days left. 15 days left. So man, if he gonna reveal it and play the audio tape, I hope it's done within the next 15 days. But yeah, he did say he did credit Cassie for giving him the strength. I don't know if you want to call it the strength, but just she came out against Diddy, and he's like one of the biggest in the industry. And if she can run up against him, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But anywho, anything else you gotta say, or anything anybody gotta say in the chat? This is your last opportunity to hit that StreamYard link if you want to join us on the panel.
No, actually, I'm gonna get ready to get off of here and do my treatment.
Yeah.
Tina said, that my family going through it pretty hard right now.
Yeah, I know. You're not feeling good and everything that's going on. So, we're going to keep you in our prayers because she didn't have some losses in her family. And on top of that, she's not feeling too hot right now. And Christmas is right around the corner. So this is not a really good, fun time to be sick, when you want to be around your family and friends and things like that. But Tina did say, I'm not surprised at all. He's not wearing that dress for nothing. And Diddy is now settling with 2 men as well. Yep, I heard that. And his baby mama is jumping in on this. Baby.
And Kim Porter's birthday was the other day, baby, and he posted something about her. And the internet went bananas on him.
I know the black internet was probably hot, was lit, huh?
Oh my gosh, because they believe that he had something to do.
Twitter?
Black Twitter, yes. But or Beyonce's internet, they not listen. The people said that they think that he did something to that girl.
Yep.
They think she did something to her.
I am not surprised. The way that he was beating on all them women, including her, I wouldn't be surprised. He could end up right in jail next to R. Kelly. They both in there making beats.
I'm sorry. Girl, no, he wouldn't have been able to go to sleep if he hit me. He would have been able to go to sleep because I'm gonna get my leak, but I can't. You can't put your hands on some. Not on Cisco and get away with it. No, sorry, Bobby Jr. I'm gonna get my leg back. All her. You hear me? So they'd have been found him between the couch and the chair somewhere with his head stuck between the pillars. Girl, I can't play with that. You can't be swinging on me. And it's always the ones that's that's denying their sexuality in public that are so abusive to women in the dark. It's always them. The ones that's struggling with their own sexuality are the ones that beat on the women like they hate the women. It's like they totally dislike real women. You know, that's crazy.
Yep, it is very crazy. And I know you're not feeling well, so I'm gonna wrap this up. We had 1 hour, and that was a good enough time for us to literally jump in and dive into this situation and give our commentary on it. And I enjoyed the commentary in the chat. And as always, I saw I saw my bro in the chat. Oh, this is all for money. This is a lie. This is, I know there's certain people who will always feel that way when somebody come out, much later after a situation like that. It's always going to be, people, and I ain't gonna judge. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's all I got to say about that. But as far as I'm concerned, I feel like this. I don't know how many of y'all who are watching me or listening to the sound of my voice right now who have been through something like this, and the people that you ran to tell swept it under the rug. This happened a lot back in the day, and especially in the black communities with the uncles and the grandpas and the cousins and the brothers. And I mean, it was just rampant, and it still goes on, and not just in the black community, but when you go to people and they tell you, oh, just stay away from them, or just leave them alone, or they just don't believe you and believe the other person. Like it's I don't want to say it's much easier for me to believe that thing, but it's much harder for me to say I do not believe you. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I go at it. Because if my child or my friend or anybody, like y'all saw the story I did, one of my relatives wanted to come on here and share her story about something that somebody else in our family had did to her. That person is now in jail right now, facing a lot of charges, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and they also accepted responsibility and they pleaded guilty to it, right? But for the whole time, up to that time, a lot of people in our family didn't believe her and sided with him. Now, that was my very, 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 and still very, very close cousin, like a sister instead of a cousin. I automatically believed her. Not that it had anything to do with him, but I know my cousin. And I know we know each other in and out. I know she wouldn't lie about no shit like that, right? So especially when he was also one of her favorite, they grew up at the hip, and then this shit happened once she was grown. That's once it happened. And so a lot of people like, man, come on now. Y'all love each other. Y'all besties. Y'all favorite cousins. Why would he do that to you? And, it was all kind of shit, with the family, and the family became divided. But I'll never say I just don't believe you, because I've been through it, and not once, not twice. Okay. So I'd rather believe in somebody and then they prove me wrong later, or somebody prove them wrong, than to just not believe them. Because what that generally does to people, and they know they telling the truth, that can cause people to do harm to themselves. That can cause people to not take it to court. That can cause that other person, the actual villain, to continue to hurt and torment and prey on people for years to come. So I don't know. I can't tell people what to do when it comes to things like that, but you can't just always say people is lying because they want money. It don't work that way. That industry is too large and too big, and too many rumors.
Which is why I think. Which is why I think he allowed the statute of limitations to go out.
Yes, that's exactly why he allowed the statute of limitations to go out, because he knew that a lot of people would say it was for money, or maybe because he didn't get a specific role, or maybe because he, they make up any type of things why people doing it. Instead of just saying, well, maybe they did do it. You ever consider that they could be telling the truth? You know what I'm saying? You said Heavy D oddly died the same way Kim and her girl. Ooh, child. You said another case consider being reopened as Heavy D and Kim Porter and her, what's that, GF case? Is about to be reopened. And you said, I thank God my mom covered us, but I know many who've been through hell. Many people have been through hell and back. Many people. And it's not just the parents that have not believed people. Some people are not even with their parents. And so I'll just say the caregiver, a caregiver, somebody who's there to protect you, doesn't believe you. Don't be a foster kid. And they really want that money and them checks every month. And you telling them that their husband or their son or their grandpa, their dad, or somebody in their family is doing it to you. Don't be a foster kid. You know what I'm saying? So when I say somebody's supposed to protect you and keep you safe, I literally mean like caregivers, and that could be anybody. But yeah, and on that note, everybody, unless Cislo got anything left to say, make sure you guys like and share the video, please and thank you. Hit the Cash App, please and thank you. On your way out, if you want to bless me for either some commentary or for, my birthday, which is coming up December 29th. And I do have the link. I'll have to repost that link, but I do have an Amazon wishlist link that I posted to my community wall maybe a week or so ago, but I'll have to repost that so I can bring it up to the top of the community wall. But yes, my birthday, of course, is always December 29th. And we will be kicking it again, another house party going down before the end of the year. And we will be live during the house party as well, as usual. I always go live for a little bit from my parties for my birthday, so you guys can celebrate. Feel like you're celebrating it with me a little bit, at least a little bit. But the Cash App is $ the Hood Table 402. And Cislo, if you want to bless her, I'm going to put hers in here too. Her Cash App is basically her name, SISLO. I just put it in the chat. So if you want to bless Cislo, send her a little monetary love. Or if you want to send me something to the Hood Table 402, feel free. Other than that, please like and share the video and subscribe to the Hood Table. If you're not already subscribed, please and thank you. And always, as usual, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out.